Hindsight is 2020. In 2020, hindsight would have been helpful. Building on success. Building on knowledge. Every year, another step higher. A progression that never ends.
My job is to win this championship.
I would never have guessed how that was going to turn out.
And then, it stops.
Welcome to 2020, you know? Whatever you thought you were planning to do is not what's happening.
The resilient find a way.
Everything he does is 10/10 all the time.
They push through pain. They think their way out of problems.
It was a big, big push to get another car built before the next event.
It's the story of finding small victories in the face of uncertainty. Progression without limits.
The fact that we were allowed to build a car with no rules is a dream come true for us.
I got the pan out.
Dedication at the highest level. This is Season 8 of Launch Control.
We are rolling.
What do you want to know?
All of it.
The final event of the 2019 calendar, Subaru Motorsports USA, was in celebration mode.
19 was really the year where all the effort paid off.
There was a lot of positivity and anticipation. There was a lot to look forward to in 2020.
We proved our car's as quick as any car out there. Our drivers are as fast as anybody out there. We just cracked a curve.
For so many years we've been working so hard, and finally the car was performing and we were getting great results.
I think everybody was emotional. It's been a long time coming. Everybody put a lot of effort.
A double podium capped a year of domination in the Rallycross program, despite a critical injury to their championship-leading driver. The team set the bar high for 2020.
The momentum of winning, when it starts, you never want to end it. Really, we wanted to keep this momentum to start 20 with, anger to say, okay, now we will do everything we want to do.
We're going to do it again next year and do it better.
In rally, with the title already locked up.
We've got a 10th championship win now, so really happy with that. So the season goal's achieved.
The team ends the year with a star performance by Oliver Solberg.
Unbelievable driver, unbelievable kid, unbelievable talent. Having him on the team in 19 was just an amazing experience.
Oliver exceeded my expectations.
This was his last event with the team before taking his talent to the world stage. The end of a great year, but the beginning of an off-season filled with upheaval and unknowns.
Toward the end of any race season, there's always uncertainty about what's going to happen the year after.
Motorsports is always unstable. There's always some element of surprise or unknown.
No matter how good you think you have it, it's a volatile game we play.
As the season ends, the ARX Championship announces it's ceasing operations, leaving Rallycross in North America without a home.
We knew that ARX was folding. We're looking at the prospect of maybe not having a Rallycross series for 2020.
To a lot of us, it's become home to go Rallycross racing in the U.S.
It was sort of bittersweet because we had seen the car and the team come up to meet the goals that we needed. When ARX was uncertain for the future, I think everyone was hoping that Nitro could be a way forward.
At the time of finding out that ARX was going away, we knew that Nitro was at the same time working to fill in that space and kind of take over and do it better.
And so we had on the horizon the possibility of this new Rallycross series, which was really exciting because Nitro Rallycross as a one-off event has been super successful over the last couple of years.
Scott's speed is confirmed for 2020, poised to make a dramatic comeback following his back injury. With timelines uncertain, the team continues working in the belief that Rallycross will take center stage once again.
No matter what the unknowns, like, we weren't going to slow down. We were going to go full steam ahead and continue with, research and development and trying to make the cars better.
And while the rallycross community reels, the team reconsiders its rally driver lineup.
At the end of last year, we had a lot of driver contracts expiring all at the same time. So we looked at the structure of the team, and we looked at the structure of the rally side specifically, because every race team needs to be thinking about who the next driver is, who that next person is going to be that can rise to that level. So it's a good structure long-term for a race team to have somebody who is that proven number one leader type, and then you've got somebody that's training and moving and developing up into that role. So instead of looking at having David and Travis, that was really a choice between David or Travis. And that was one of the most difficult decisions I think anybody involved with this program has ever had to make.
I can tell you, David Higgins and I have a very close relationship. It was very sad to see him leave the team, for me personally.
That's just sport. It's racing. It's how it is.
Coming to the team in the very early years, we discussed it. This is a job, right? It's a job for us and it's a job for him, and someday it's going to end.
David's been such an incredible driver and such a great person to work with over the last few years. The thought of him not being around completely changes the way our whole little crew works. He's been the basis of our winning for such a long period of time, and the car literally was built for him and Craig. Having him leave was just this massive unknown.
We ultimately felt like Travis was the guy that we needed to have for the future of the program. All the pieces kind of made sense for us, and so we sort of we held our nose and jumped in the deep end.
The right driver to fill the second seat is less obvious, but the answer would soon come to light. In late February, the team is in Washington State, set to launch their new rally lineup.
In February, we headed out west to try to find a road that didn't have snow on it, because that's a big issue in Vermont at that time of year.
Freeride mountain bike star Brandon Semenuk has been signed to the team as the second driver.
Brandon came in, he took over David's car, and we did a test.
Yeah, this is like Christmas Day. New toy, new team, looking forward to an exciting year.
He is a tremendously talented rally driver, and he had showed how he could work his way up from being a grassroots guy with a fairly straightforward car up to kind of a national open class style build and what he had raced with Subaru Canada. We saw a lot of potential in him.
We did a young driver test 2 years ago.
It's just like a really cool opportunity for, a handful of younger up-and-coming rally drivers to try the car, test their skills, no expectations, expected nothing from it.
Brandon was one of those drivers at that test, and he excelled. Really, made us think, well, he could be a real asset to the team. He can drive.
See him at events, he'd come up, shake hands, how you doing? He put in the time, he put in the money, he put in the work, and he made it. He made it. He's our factory driver after all that time.
Moving into the Vermont sports car spec rally car is a big step up.
My car's so good, it wants to go fast. I got to kind of work my way up to the car and just know what I can, how much I can push and what it's willing to do.
But you're being kind to the car.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be nice.
yeah, you're being kind to the car.
I figured at least first and second would be pretty hard.
Nice
That's a good
guy.
driver.
Nice
I was going to say that's good. You don't hear that on too often.
The fastest car he's ever driven, the most durable car he's ever driven, the most professional team as far as guys that just know what they're doing.
They're similar but very different in the way they approach the sport. Brandon's a really cerebral guy. Travis likes to let it all hang out.
Once you start feeling confident, this is a fast bit. It can be wide open, but just careful on that. Yeah, just that little guy. Don't worry about that little guy. That little guy? Don't worry about that little guy.
Having Travis as my teammate it's so cool. He's an idol of mine, and obviously, we see eye to eye on a lot of things. We come from the action sports world, So it's just, I think it's going to be a really good time. Obviously, we'll be competing against each other, but we're also teammates.
Both of them want the other to succeed, and both of them want to be good team players. So they work well as a 1-2 combination, and we were really excited at the prospect of making that our team for 2020.
We're out here in the woods, taking photos. Smile, don't smile. Hands behind your back, arms crossed. The Ken Block.
When I first met Brandon, I was thinking, this guy's almost too calm. It's such a contrast to Travis, who is absolutely bonkers all the time.
Feels good to be back.
Like Pastrana, he has a very good feel of the car. From his mountain biking, he knows the feel of the sideways motion, and that's going to accelerate his learning.
All over the place. I like it.
Expectations are tempered, as it will take him time to find comfort in the car. A successful test in the bag, the team is ready to start their championship run.
We had come back from the test out west, and the cars were back here in Vermont. We were doing a full re-prep on them, changing some things we'd learned on the test.
And we come back home, with the trucks get home, the cars get home, we all get home.
As all of that is happening, we start to get word on the horizon of this COVID thing. This, again, late February, getting into the beginning of March.
And we re-prep the cars, and everything's looking up, and 2020 is going to be great. It's exciting, it's new, we're all looking forward to it.
We had just got done setting up the cars. The trucks are loaded. We're 6 hours from pulling out to go to 100 Acre Wood.
Everything was packed, our toolboxes were in the truck.
And everything that we had planned for the beginning of 2020, it all just evaporated immediately.
This astounding and unprecedented story continues to evolve
around this new disease, the coronavirus.
It's meant to encourage anyone who is sick to stay home.
Professional sports teams making changes.
Take mask coming off.
Man, you take normal for granted, and then something like this comes along and everything's like 180 degrees out.
Welcome to 2020, you know? Whatever you thought you were planning to do is not what's happening.
Once COVID hit, basically everything stopped. Nobody knew, still don't know today, what the next step is.
And we're all just left guessing, like we don't know what's gonna come of this year.
We closed our shop completely during the peak of the COVID outbreak.
So we went from the high of getting the cars ready, getting super excited to start the year. We've got these two drivers we're really excited to work with. And then just, I'm sitting at home watching the news, not knowing what's going on.
It's just becomes really hard when you don't know what's next.
Like the states started to go into lockdowns, the borders were closed in mid-March.
We were closed for, I don't know, 12 weeks at least, and it was very, very difficult, strange and difficult.
The one thing that I was staying awake at night worrying about was what's going to happen to my team, because we just have no clue what the future is going to hold.
And when we came home, we had a bundle of work to do. We came in slowly with small departments and a few people at a time, as the state allowed. They managed all that correctly. Nobody's gotten sick.
So we kind of slowly got up to speed toward the middle of the summer and got back to business, back to working.
And the whole time we're just trying to figure out what events are going to go forward, how can they go forward.
So it's kind of a just huge question mark of do as much as you can to get ready, but we don't have any idea what we're getting ready for.
The decision to go back to rallying while COVID was still happening was not taken lightly. You know, we thought about it, looked at all of what could we do to mitigate the risk for our staff, what's the event doing, and so you weigh all that, you look at it all together, and we decided, yes, there's a way to do it safely.
The COVID extended off-season finally seems ready to end, in time for a revised Southern Ohio Forest Rally.
We're very fortunate to be able to live our hobbies, live our dreams, and we got to take every single precaution, every single effort to make sure that when we leave, we don't leave an imprint that's going to be remembered for anything other than good times and having fun doing what we love.
I'm smiling at my mask, I don't know why.
Man, there's a lot of history. In the 2020 season, we didn't end up going to Snowdrift, so we were supposed to kick off the season with the next event, but obviously with COVID, a lot of things got canceled or postponed, and now Ohio's kind of found a solution for us to get back into the season.
With strict protocols in place, the team looks to get back on track.
First time we'd ever done the event, first time we'd done an event in the COVID era.
The venues are new, the location's new, the setup's new, everything's new. And it was a night rally, which is also something I've never really been a part of.
We didn't have the opportunity to do a real test prior to the rally, so they got in cold. Travis had a co-driver he hadn't worked with in years. It's just all these unknown.
Adding to the stress, the limited 6-stage rally is so compact, a single mistake can take you out of contention. Everything needs to run flawlessly.
There's not a lot of room for error at this rally. Everyone wanted to go out and have a good showing, show that we still had pace, show that our new guy still had some pace. Also, Ken was there in his Kazi, and McKenna was there in his Skoda. We didn't know how things were going to go.
The strategy coming into Southern Ohio Forest Rally is really that we have to finish. If I want a chance at this championship, I have to be on the podium, so that means take less chances.
Going into this first event, for me, I definitely just want to have like a solid first event. I want to make sure I get through it because I need all the experience I can get in this car. I haven't put like a big distance on a stage in this car yet, so it'll be a learning curve for sure, but I'm feeling pretty good about it.
We have to adapt very quickly, find our pace very quickly. We can't afford to take a DNF, so there's a lot of pressure going into this rally, but at the same time, my job is to win this championship.
Both Subarus are set to take on the first stage, well aware that they're starting their campaign on the back foot. Their main competition, Barry McKenna, has a 22-point championship lead after winning Snowdrift, the season opener before COVID struck.
We've got a long way to go. We'll figure it out.
It's now a shortened season with fewer chances to claw back points. Second on the road, Pastrana. Travis and co-driver Chrissy Beavis hope to set a winning pace right out of the gate, but it will take some time to shake off the rust against teams who have been running full seasons together. The pressure is different for Semenuk.
3, 2, 1, go. Start 250.
He's expected to learn the car and find his confidence.
The crest, very narrow.
But Brandon is a competitor and wants to be among the front runners quickly. Both drivers are in the fight, but trail McKenna on the opening stage. Stage 2, the battle continues. Pastrana needs to take back the time he lost on the opening stage. But that's when all hell breaks loose.
What can we get out of the car? I don't care, there's something. What can we get out of the car? It's going to burn to the ground. What can we get out of the car?
Tell him! Go! Go and tell him we need a big fire truck!
Next time, on launch control.
It's so great to be back in the car.
I would never have guessed how that was going to turn out.
When the time does come, we'll be ready.
Hook 3 left, don't go wide.
Wow, that was lucky. Sorry, John.
They said we're on 3 wheels.
We got to get back to service now. That's the challenge.